Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. My name is Tommy Wave, and today we'll be taking a look at another deck from the Happy Boys. Ooh, having a bit of an issue there. Another deck from the Happy Boys. This is a Control Priest. We covered a Happy Boys deck the other week, and we've done so in the past. They're a fantastic streaming duo. Definitely go check them out on Twitch. But we're playing some Control Priest today. Not typically a deck that we've played a lot of in the past. Deck often called Mind Blast Priest as well. Very straightforward strategy, something we've lost to plenty of times before, of being a very controlling deck with a late game finisher of playing Alexstrasza and then finishing your opponent off with 2 Mind Blasts and a Holy Fire, or possibly 3 Mind Blasts if you've managed to discover any off of Shadow Visions. The math also gets even easier for you if you've got a Shadow Reaper Anduin in play, so you can start adding some pings in between those Mind Blasts. So a really powerful deck, really consistent, and I think Happy Boys, they're bringing something different to the table in this Mojo Master Z here, which I thought was the most curious addition to the deck. But they actually included, over on the Hearthstone deck, which of course, link in the description, Hearthstone deck write-up, they've included some reasoning behind this Mojo Master Z here, because I think it comes off as a bit of a non-bow kind of card. You know, the whole idea of the deck is, you know, control, hit your Shadow Reaper Anduin, hit your Alexstrasza, hit them in the face for 16, they're dead, for 15 rather, and Mojo Master Z here resets your mana crystals to 5. Which doesn't make that very easy. However, they did say that one of the biggest weaknesses of this deck is combo decks, not other combo decks, just straight up combo decks. You know, getting to 10 mana, getting to their Mechathune, getting to all these things, and Mojo Master Z here in that situation resets them, makes them unable to cast those cards, gives you another couple of turns to probably find your last Mind Blast, find your Alexstrasza, maybe even just get them with some of these mid-rangey minions, these Scale Worms, these Twilight Drakes, things like that. So I think that's a really cool addition. I'm really keen to see how Mojo Master Z goes in this deck. The other new addition that we've got from Rastakhan's Rumble is Firetree Witch Doctor. We talked about Firetree Witch Doctor in the context of Dragon Warrior and other such decks, and unfortunately Warrior's spell selection is pretty weak. They're pretty often very one-dimensional spells or inflexible spells, but within Priest there's the galaxy of spells are available to you. We can use this to find extra Mind Blast, we can use this to find extra copies of Psychic Stream or Mass Hysteria, things like that. So I think Firetree Witch Doctor is an absolute slam dunk in this deck. Really happy to be playing with it. And we've got some other cute combos in here, like Twilight Acolyte, Cabal Shadow Priest, got a Singleton Crowd Roaster in here, a Singleton Primordial Drake, so a nice selection of that late game elements without committing too hard to it, because you know, still the game plan is just to find the Alex, burn our opponent out if they let us do what we want to do. So like I said, big shout out to the Happy Boys. Link as always in the description. Without further ado, we'll jump into some games. Not so much focus on the wins today, just focus on learning the archetype, because I think Mind Blast Priest is definitely a deck to be aware of, and be aware of the matchups, and I'd love to get a perspective from the other side. So let's go. Okay, here we are up against Priest. Not the very odd selection. I mean, we've got that's very close to the actual combo, but I think we're going to send these back. Question is, do we keep this Alexstrasza? Actually has an incredibly high mulligan win rate on if we check out similar decks on Hearthstone, sitting at about 58%, which is above the average win rate for the deck, but it's only kept 18% of the time. I think against Priest, they're unlikely to aggro us out, so I think I'm actually going to keep the Alex and try to give ourselves the best shot of just going turn 9 Alex, turn 10 our opponent's dead. Maybe turn 8 Alex even with the coin, if we think we need to get under our opponent, maybe if they're on quest or something like that. We have the Firetree Witch Doctor in our hand. Unfortunately, we did draw 2 of our other most expensive cards, just the Shadow Reaper Anduin in there. Keeping that big, beautiful lizard. Yes, we are. What is going on, Miggy?
Is someone injured?
This big, beautiful lizard girl. Duskbreaker's good. Kind of filling out the curve here a little bit. Especially if our opponent is on some kind of Miracle Priest. This could help us clear off some risky Radiant Elementals if our opponent's trying to land some of them.
You are the shadow.
And just as we say that our opponent's unlikely to be on aggro, our opponent whips out their Shadow Ascendant. This is tough. Holy Smite. I mean, we could fire off a Holy Smite right now. Is that going to keep us alive? We have the Duskbreaker behind it as well.
Must consider.
Yeah, I think this Shadow Ascendant's maybe going to grow a bit out of control. It threatens to pump other minions out of the range of Duskbreaker. That might have been a bit too preemptive. Perhaps we could have held on a bit. We could have taken the Psychic Scream, set ourselves up more for the late game. I'm just not too sure with a lot of these aggressive priests how important that early game momentum is. I mean, from playing them, I think it's really important. I think keeping a minion like Shadow Ascendant on the field is very important. Just got back from a mountain drive with Mum. What you doing up in the mountains? Especially during daytime. Gotta go up the mountains for the night time. Have a gander about the shiny boys. Elixir of Hope. Yep. Now definitely wishing that we took the Psychic Screamers. This is way out of our range, but if our opponent's going to focus on board control, maybe we get lucky, our opponent attacks in here and then goes for the heal, draws a card, plays another minion that hopefully isn't a Shadow Ascendant. We can clear both of them up with this Duskbreaker. Then when they drop the copy from their hand, we can steal it with the Cabal Shadow Priest. Just driving, just enjoying a drive. What's your favorite? Like I'm a big fan of listening to albums in their entirety. Do you have a particular favorite driving album? Album that you like to chill out to whilst you're driving? This is a Mad Priest. I mean, Aggro Priest definitely has a slot in the metagame. Let our opponent extend a bit more into our Duskbreaker. And the good thing is, even though they're drawing so much, a lot of these decks don't have a lot of reach. So if we can stay pretty topped up, could be Inner Fire though. Is Inner Fire? Alright. Well, we are definitely on a clock. Let's go for the Duskbreaker here. We might be able to pair it with the Holy Fire next turn to take out the Cleric. Favorite driving album? Oof. Probably Pendulum, Hold Your Color. That's a good choice. I've definitely had a road trip or two fueled by Pendulum. Ooh. Saving us some damage. Thank our opponent for that one. Alright. We have the Psychic Scream to follow up. Even a Crowd Roaster if our opponent doesn't... maybe they Divine Spirit this or something like that. I think we'd still probably Psychic Scream that away though. Thought Steal. It's pretty dangerous. We do have both of the Mind Blasts left in our deck. Oh, still 3 spells. They played both the Power Word Shields, right? Maybe that is a Divine Spirit.
Is someone injured?
No. I think we'll Crowd Roaster here. As much as I'd love to Shadow Priest that Northshire Cleric, that Lightspawn does represent. That actually represents lethal if their opponent had two Divine Spirits. Ugh! How long has that Chameleos been there? Oh, maybe they were playing... Maybe that's why they... It felt like they were playing around stuff a little bit better. But they just must have missed the Holy Fire, I guess. Well, we have the combo for next turn if we want it. Scared of another Inner Fire, which makes me just want to play this Primordial Drake.
We must consider.
It's possible we should have just traded here, but our opponent has 1,000 cards in their hand. Yeah, I can't think of my favourite driving album, but the album that I've spent the most time in a car listening to is definitely Mastodon's Crack the Sky. Lots of big...
Hand is too full.
There's the Divine Spirit. They have the Silence? They don't. So do we Psychic Scream this away, or do we just take it? Take their 216 sounds good.
Nick! Oh, a shadow. Let me change your mind.
Thank you.
Give him the thank you. Give him the thank you. A little bit of BM. A little bit of New Year's BM. A little bit cheeky.
Your magic shall not save you.
I'm definitely going to come in with the Alexstrasza here.
I bring life. Obey. Is someone injured?
Well, always going to clear that, just in case our opponent has discovered some more elements of their Inner Fire combo. Extra Inner Fire, extra Divine Spirits. Never want to randomly lose a game to leaving a 3 toughness minion on the board. Opponent is incredibly unlikely to have Psychic Scream unless they got it off a Thought Steal. Then they do have it. But I would have thought that they would have probably Psychic Screamed the last board that we had. But yeah, I just don't think a Shadow Ascendant deck is very likely to play Psychic Scream. Or mass hysteria for that matter. Ooh! Mind control. Spiteful. So they actually could have had Psychic Scream in there. There are some there are definitely some spiteful lists out there that place like a 1 or 2 of Psychic Scream. Kind of makes their spitefuls worse, but maybe helps some aggro matchups. But GG's, well played to our opponent. They had a really tight start. I don't know what information they got off the Chameleos there, but yeah, they played really well. GG's. I'm sorry for BMing you. Alright, here we are up against a Hunter. So Hunter, probably not the matchup we want. Not where we want Z here. Maybe not Twilight Acolyte as well. I think every Hunter deck plays some number of weapons. Whether or not this Gluttonous Ooze just snags us a candle shot or something like that, I think we're tremendously likely to hit something, and so we should probably keep it. There's a candle shot, but candle shot attack. A curious development. Candle shot attack. Does that mean that they got the second candle shot? Especially if you had the secret plan in hand. Something's a little bit off here. Something's really off here.
Is someone injured?
Would love it if they just cracked their candle shot, played an Eagle Horn Bow. Okay. There's the other candle shot. So we'll definitely play the Gluttonous Ooze here and probably just pass. I mean, I understand how people think, where they're like, oh, I gotta get rid of all the charges on this, but like, I don't know. Candle shot is just so low value. Pretty happy to charge in with the Gluttonous Ooze here. What could it be? Is it like Rat and they just played a Snipe or something?
Right away.
Yeah.
Right away.
Did they like discover Rat? I guess it makes sense now. I don't particularly want to give them a Rat. Snake! We should have attacked with this one first. We goofed that a little bit.
Move quickly.
Right away.
I'm gonna stay conservative with this coin. I think ideally, yeah, the thing we goofed on is attacking with the Drake first. We should have attacked with the Corrosive Ooze first. Because had it been the snake like it was, then that would allow us to play the scale whatever, attack, coin, divine him, draw 2. Now we're kind of in a bit of a sitch. But our opponent doesn't have a lot of pressure. Let's reroll this. Yeah, opponent doesn't have a lot of pressure. One issue here is that our opponent is going first, which means that, like, obviously we can play Z here to keep them off of Zul'jin, which I think is a card that makes a lot of sense for them to have. It's a card that makes a lot of sense for them to have, but by doing that we also lock ourselves off of Alexstrasza, unless we coin Alex on 8. Secret Hunter still plays Zul'jin? I'd assume so.
I bring life.
Whoa! The old King Crush.
I wonder.
Oh, a shadow.
I will move.
Rat. No rats. We navigated around the freezing trap. Luckily enough. Opponent didn't have Zul'jin. Gonna trade? Yeah. I feel like we should just heal up and just try and draw our Mind Blasts. We've got the Holy Fire still in our deck. Next turn we can jam with the Primordial Drake, see what happens, potentially. And if we get a hit in with the Alexstrasza, our opponent is dead. We just got to navigate around the freezing traps, wandering monsters. I mean, it's highly likely that it's a lot of those things plus snakes. Wolf. Alright, let's see what happens. Explosive. Wandering. Not a taunt. Is that the innkeeper? Misdirection. Oh no! Ooh, ooh. Okay.
I will mourn.
Jeez. That was a fun match. Really fun match. Well played to our opponent. Sorry about your double candle shot. GG's.
Victory.
Alright, up here against the Paladin. Obviously odd Paladin, even Paladin doing a lot of things these days. Part of me does want to keep this Gluttonous Ooze, as it is a thing to do. Lines up well with our opponent's unidentified moles. If they're even, could line up with a Valanir or a True Silver Champion. I think it's a good hedge. It's very conservative though. And that it is possible that we want to be more aggressive, hit our Northshire Clerics, hit our Fire Tree Witch Doctors. Our opponent on neither, so probably imagine some kind of combo deck, probably the Death Knight OTK deck, of which we have Mojo Master Z here, so we can try and lock our opponent out of 9. But they are going first, and that will complicate things. Shrug. Does this deck play weapons? Maybe it plays True Silver Champion.
Reporting for duty.
Reporting for duty. We'd love a dragon. Love a dragon to turn this Scale Worm on. True Silver. True Silver, no attack! The value. Slaughter boys.
Right away.
I think that's about as good as a Divine Hymn is gonna get. We really gotta find this Alex Strasser. Well, we got a dragon, which is a fine second prize. This is a matchup we might want to coin Shadow Reaper Anduin on 7 and then Zihi on 8 before our opponent hits 9.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, so coin Anduin next turn. Z the turn after. And rather than go for the Alex kill, we might just go for the Anduin kill over the couple of turns after that. Oh, Tarim is really good here. Maybe we Psychic Scream and then have to go for the Zihi the turn after. Or we can Duskbreaker. That was a really hard thing to do. I feel like our game plan was so solid. Interesting.
Just a sip, then you are mine.
Alright. Let's see what our opponent does over the next couple of turns.
Reporting for duty.
Is someone injured? Your will is mine!
Do you like to play with fire?
Consecrate. Tasty. There's Alex. Unfortunately, we already kind of committed to not doing Alex things.
Medicine.
I guess now we have the option. I think we want to go the Anduin route. So we hope that our opponent plays some big doofus here. Like Tyrion or something.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, like that.
Reporting for duty. Beware the shadow.
Let me change your mind.
Ugh. Once again, still unsure if we should be pulling the trigger. They did have those though. Still not sure if we should be pulling the trigger on Alex or Anduin. Probably Alex now. Well, let's Anduin and break the armor.
I must consider.
The light has betrayed me.
As Azeroth will be
I'll
purified.
put it on your head.
Do I want to bait out that last hit?
Darkness speaks to meddlesome insects.
I see a vision in the flames.
So they have one in hand.
Azeroth will be purified.
The same one. I thought it couldn't do the same one.
Reeks of magic. Delightful.
Just the two. Face. Well, I guess we go for Alex and we hope that our opponent doesn't have a thing next turn.
Shadowy
I'm not going to play the powered shield.
Prophecy. Prophecy.
Not going to play the powered shield just in case we need an extra spell.
It's time.
Especially if our opponent has, yeah, like Shivala. Ugh, yuck. Can we do 22? 3, 6, so 10. So 14, but at 8 mana. I think this Shivala gets us. I guess we can crowd roaster and stay in the game.
Azeroth will be purified.
That is definitely the same one. Or we can take their Shivala, which I think I like a little bit more. Or we can Psychic Scream.
Shadowy thoughts.
Probably Psychic Scream is a bit better. As it means we don't have to worry about the Lanessa, like cracking the Lanessa's
Azeroth will be
thing.
purified.
No
They have them all?
peace, no rest.
So, Tiamat's pretty good.
Let me change your mind.
And I think they only have one more to collect. So they might actually have us dead this turn.
No.
Ooh, and the flash of light. Yuck. That one they don't have. 2, 4. So 10, 15. Maybe we should have fired off the Holy Fire that turn, rather than the...
Death was merely
Is that the last one? They got 3 in hand?
Drink with me, friend.
Well, now they have 3 in hand. Unfortunately, we only have 9 with the Holy Fire. We can ping, Holy Fire, ping again. Coin brings us up. So I guess we have to go for broke with the Fire Tree Witch Doctor. Nothing in the deck saves us.
Azeroth will be purified.
Yeah.
no peace, no rest. Death was merely a setback.
Yeah, so I think our big goof there was, I think, not committing hard enough to one game plan or another. That we should have committed, should have realized that a Paladin would, like this, is going to have a lot of healing, that we are eventually going to have to rely on Alex, and we wasted a Mind Blast. Which, as we saw there at the end, the Mind Blast would have, an extra Mind Blast would have won us the game. So, I guess that's a bit of a learning experience as far as Control Priest goes. Take a look at the deck list. Honestly, there's no changes I'd like to make. I think that it's all about learning the deck and learning how it plays a lot better. Big shout out to the Happy Boys, of course, for sharing this deck. Love it a lot. I think that the addition of Zihi is phenomenal. It really helped us. You know, we wouldn't really have had much of a chance against that Paladin, and especially just you know, having that option against all those spell hunters to lock them out of Zul'jin and things like that, when, you know, those decks do rely a lot on those late game powerhouses, is absolutely huge, let alone the fact that it can stop people from comboing off with Cthulhu and things like that. So love the deck a lot. If you're watching this video on YouTube, all the links are down in the description, including a link over to the Hearthstone deck article. Jump over there, give the Happy Boys a +1. Also, jump over to their Twitch, give them a follow, check out their content, and you can check out my content on YouTube, Twitch, everywhere. It's everywhere. Oh my gosh. Until next time, though, stay safe, stay wavy, have a happy new year. I love you a lot. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed that video. Check out other ones over here, or come subscribe to the Wave Pool for more excellent times.